This is Deb Halfrich. We're putting on the stern face. We'll keep it on the glasses. We may go read some LinkedIn comments. Today's one-woman improv Socratic monologue is about demolishing whiteness, the concept. In my philosophical universe of hashtag wellbeing philosophy, we have a lot to say, we being me, myself and I, about how to stop dehumanization of all stripes and spots. Part of a philosopher's job is to get the lighting right. I know that should be my, gaffer's job. Just need a little bit of assistance over here to make my anti-racism work ever so slightly less complex and expansive, and more to the point, videographer, and who knows how to get things seen. So that's the whole point of there's nothing to buy here. There's help me find strategic collaborators, and if you see the value of this, I'm creating hashtag NFT art for social change, social impact NFTs for sale that will enable me to create an entercation empire. I got a feature film. I got a career being Dave Chappelle's soulmate. Stand up or sit down. I'm cool with sitting on my yoga ball. And again, less about this polished performance, more about improv. And what the improv is what I see the format being now, again, because I just keep inventing, and creating. For me personally, I'm not going to the comedy clubs. There's too much making fun of people at the comedy clubs and people smoke and drink. I'm not about laughs, although, watch me. There's only one name for the weight class I got up to. Shaquille O'Neal. And Charles Barkley, right after he retired, he blew up like a beach ball. These are the only two humans I know hit 333 pounds and still vibrantly alive. Not like at the point of living in their bed for the rest of their lives. Me, Shaq, and Chuck. Hey, y'all, holler. Because again, with this, y'all write checks for NFTs, can you not? And let's like literally fund anti-racist work from the angle of demonstrating racial harmony. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. Just like I'm the king on the microphone, so are Dr. J and Moses Malone. Wow. So typically I go into my scenario, which I won't do the whole scenario because I had to go all the way through to the beginning of Charlie Brown's. All Fife. I do Fife's entire lyric. Don't test me. But bring it in some Curtis Blow. Because this is entercation. I know what I'm doing. I'm a philosopher. Trust me. I'm not selling you a damn thing. I'm creating evolutionary thinking. Demonstrating it. Not telling you what to think like everybody else. Not coaching you into doing what everyone else is doing. My job, my responsibility, my privilege is to teach us all to be exactly who we are. Out loud, as rare and unique as maybe perhaps unfathomable to most people as you may be, who you are, expressing your lived experiences in your own way, this does a body good. Because clearly I no longer weigh 333 pounds. I weigh half that. During a pandemic, I lost 150 plus pounds in the 15 months after turning 50. Chuck, holla. And do so quickly because I might be occupied. Someone very soon is going to see this. Give me the Chappelle. Or much more feasibly, reasonably, although not all that much more likely. Lamont and Jill Scott show up. But I have no idea how long it's going to take to get a movie into production in Southern Africa. That probably means we can get it into production sooner. Just got to check, get the redhead. That's why I was commenting on a post by Ms. Liba, the famous LinkedIner, sharing Trevor Noah's, video essay, right? That's what these are, video essays. Because again, one never knows. I know there are people working on The Daily Show. I saw a job ad for somebody to be a researcher in a social media, again, I don't know the word. Somebody to be sharing The Daily Show content all across socials. Was a job on LinkedIn, and I did apply for it, and of course, nobody ever. And I didn't want the job. I wanted to meet the people applying for the job and everything. Because, of course, Londolozi, the movie, is based on Londolozi, the world-evolving destination in Northeast South Africa. Closest city, Johannesburg. Equivalent to go right through Kanye and you hit Gaborone, Botswana. So this movie says these things on LinkedIn today. First off, the absolutely gorgeous and fiercely intelligent Aisha Joseph put up a post. It was somebody else's, and from say the Twitter or IG, I don't really know. I'm not going to scroll up. It's somebody I don't know, but it was a little graphic that said "Stop Asian Hate," which was crossed out and said "Stop White Terrorism." Okay, let me look at y'all. I was about to read. Let me look at y'all. So just one graphic, 2 sentences, right? Stop Asian hate, crossed out. Stop white terrorism. There was an Asian female who I don't have a picture to. We're not connected. So she did have to indicate her gender. She chose to. And dozen responses. Let me start there. In general, I won't, but it just says crossing out Stop Asian Hate further silences the AAPI community. We are expected by white supremacy to be quiet, and this adds to that sentiment. My perspective as an Asian American And there's now 12 replies. Lots of discussion, lots of back and forth. What Deb said is and I don't know the person, so I can't mention them, but I did. Your voice and perspective is powerful. This is an extraordinary commenting conversation that needed to start surfacing. It's the visual image to me of the crossing out that is being discussed. And denying that can come across as silencing the Asian perspective is very much like the knee-jerk all lives shenanigans. So I said, hashtag stop Asian hate, hashtag as an important part of the ultimate goal, to hashtag stop white terrorism. Those of us with flexible brains and open hearts know that we must criminalize white superiority. But whiteness also has a far more pervasive and problematic arm, the delusion of white superiority. This is a global situation where we are all instinctively assess each stranger via the superficial quality of skin color, making heinous prejudgments about all sorts of characteristics that are not correlated with melanin density. Instead of investing the time to get to know an individual, we dehumanize them as part of a group without the capacity to be, do, or think complexly. Every marginalized group deserves to unite via hashtag of their own collective choosing, while continuing to have complex reactions to group associations leading to individual targeting. In the end, and from the start, though, whiteness is wrong. Hashtag white evil must end. And I put up my little, I am a racial anarchist. Now, lots going on. Typical Aisha audience, much. So, a Nancy Lee, you see where this is going on, puts up a comment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. How about, quotes, stop white male terrorism, quote. Aisha's like, no. So Deb's coming in because, Aisha can't be teaching everyone everything. Deb says to Nancy Lee, while you may have thought this was helpful, time and time again, white women have enabled, supported, and been involved in white terrorism. Pretending to be blind or the weaker sex is not a get out of responsibility card. At the very least, they gave birth and mothered these men. Even if their own lives demonstrated racial harmony, white women have not, as a group, done the necessary to disrupt the delusion of white superiority. Now in the 2020s, it seems to be white women's mission to hold the peace and therefore enforce the status quo. Whiteness is constantly seeking to say, one quote, not me, time and time again. Although now that I look at it, I appear to have double quoted. Well, clearly, there is a tremendous, urgent, pervasive problem in the US of hypocrisy when it comes to the vastly different lived outcomes based on melanin density. While it is predominantly those who check the mailbox killing other humans, ellipse, racism is a vast collection of behaviors like this comment that does not see the harm whiteness of all stripes has perpetuated for hundreds of years on the global majority in order to keep immense privilege under the control of the global minority of pale-skinned folk. Now, of course, I'm also saying not me in this comment. Being self-aware is anti-racist. I'm pleased with that. I think that is a very useful comment. And the reason I turned on this video is I'm scared the white woman is going to delete her comment and then hence delete my comment. We're just gonna sit here and you're gonna have to wait. It has happened to me many times, I did just let you watch me for like a long time. I'm back with you YouTube live. So yeah, what I did was I made my own, I copied the text of the response to the white lady wanting to just say stop white men, stop white male terrorism. That's what she said. And then I put a link to my comment in case it remains, and then also a link to the comment about crossing out Stop Asian Hate, which I don't think. Yeah. I'm gonna tie this up with another commenting conversation. There was one where a young 20-year-old Asian male shows a picture of himself in a North Carolina basketball uniform on a court, and then after having been brutally attacked and put in a coma and coming to in the hospital. 3 white men. He didn't know at the time, but he found out because they came back at him in a bar later and said, whites have the power. So the story, just again, I'm going off my memory, but he doesn't racially assign the 3 attackers when he's blanks out and wakes up in the hospital. It's only because they came back and let him know they were the ones who beat him. Yeah, nobody's, you know. Nobody seen the comment. I was like comment number, there are like 3,000 comments, so it'll take a while to get there. But what I'm gonna do, the one that I wanted to wrap up with is my friend, who again, I probably could name, but won't, just, you know, who knows where this will go. But I will tell you his title: Chief Molecular Neuropsychiatry Research Branch, NIH, NIDA. Post says, and it's a share from ReachMD, COVID-19 pandemic linked to spiking cases of broken heart syndrome. And this chief of the National Institutes of Health Neuropsychiatric Research Branch says, stress and broken heart syndrome during the age of COVID-19. This is a real medical emergency because of hypersecretion of catecholamines. That is a difficult word to say. Catecholamines. Adrenaline. The entire suite of the adrenalinic pathways. Try to engage in activities to reduce your stress, like YouTube and Live. Try Zooming, exercise, and other friendly activities. So what I said in my comment was, most importantly, honor your need to speak about your emotions and stress as a crucial daily health requirement. Right now is the perfect time for all medical professionals to speak out to stop the way that psychosomatic has become associated with pseudo conditions. The body does what the mind directs. The only reason we lost sight of this is because most current medical monitoring happens once and done or across a short time span. The effects of stress may be acute, but primarily they're chronic, just waiting for one small tipping point to break the camel's back or stop a woman's heart. Furthermore, while we know about white coat hypertension, there's an associated but opposite effect in that most women will not speak fully truthfully to males in authority. We will report symptoms in a socially mediated way, keeping our emotions apart from our body's challenges. This is no longer scientifically valid. Dr. Candace Pert established that molecules of emotion drive physiological results. Thank you, my dear friend, for all the ways you're being the change via posting regularly on LinkedIn. I've been forced to live a life alone for the past decade. Isolation certainly has created physical symptoms that could turn fatal. Do you see? The only human contact I have, apart from one 79-year-old friend who I get to see at most once a week for an hour, is playing with me, myself, and I on my YouTube lives. This is it. This is my world. Commenting on LinkedIn. And the LinkedIn algorithm refuses to distribute my content. My life is in fucking jeopardy. And I would like to sue LinkedIn. Class action lawsuit on behalf of every professional they have harmed by having no use cases that consider the needs of solopreneurs, by having an algorithm that very clearly continues hate circulating while love like mine, intelligence like mine, is completely fucking silenced. Yes, I am the redheaded She-Hulk. Yes, I do rage angry. It is actually a medical symptom. Mold rage. Couldn't be any more literal. When there's no one in your life, there's no possibility of money arriving. And you will end up days from dying due to bankruptcy. And what do you do during your last days? You stand up for other humans being dehumanized. Invest in my future so that I can invest my time, invest in my future by purchasing this hashtag NFT art, this digital artifact, by purchasing it for 10 grand. This one, maybe 5 grand. I'll start the bidding at 5. I think that this one's worth 5 to 10 grand. By owning the rights, the link, I will create a bespoke little tiny video announcing that there is a fiduciary exchange of who's purchased this artwork when, for what reasons. So there's the blockchaining. See, I'm a human blockchainer. I don't need no server farms, all this electricity. I put things on LinkedIn, then I talk about them on YouTube Live, then I tweet both of these things. Boom, 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 circularly. What I do on LinkedIn gets blockchained over on Twitter. What's happening on Twitter gets shared on LinkedIn, gets talked about on YouTube Live. Blockchaining in the human sense is amberizing the best of what's happening in my day. The most creative, the most life-centric thinking. Way to hit a pippin. I try to get myself into 23 or 33-minute monologues. because y'all like brevity. I go on. Trying to get a Dave Chappelle career launched here to get myself 75 to 90 minutes to go on, because that will help evolve the world. I am the muse of those people who can be the change, who keep going, but what do we do? It's all broken. I know how to unpack it all and make it all better. This has been Deb Helfrich, hashtag Redheaded She-Hulk, on Saturday, March 20th, 2021.